Good morning guys, and welcome back to another episode. So, King George whiting on soft plastic lures. Something that a lot of people want to do, but after years and years of using bait to catch them, a lot of people not ready to do it, or just aren't quite sure on how to do it. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through all the techniques and all the gear that we use for chasing King George whiting on soft plastic lures. So I've come down to Clifton Springs. It's about 6:15 in the morning. Beautiful day. It's a little breezy at the moment, but the breeze is forecast to drop out through the morning. We're probably sitting about 800 meters from the boat ramp, and we're sitting in about sort of 3 to 3.5 meters of water. It's beautifully clear. You can see through it, so that's going to be quite important, which I will discuss throughout the video as well. So to get started, we're going to go through the rigging that we use to chase whiting on soft plastics. So what I'm using is about a 1/0 jig head and a 1/8 of an ounce, and then you can see here we have a little loop underneath the jig head, and there's a thread that goes from there to the back where the plastic is, with a little chinu hook on it. Now Jason from On The Edge Lures makes these, and guys, I'd highly recommend that you pick up a pack of them. There's also some more mainstream companies that have started making them the exact same design with the loop under the jig head eye, but the originals are made by Jason at On The Edge Lures. So give him some love, send him your support, and order a pack or two of these from him. He'll make them up in whatever size you want. You can use 4-inch turtleback worms, or you can use 7-inch. He's happy to custom make them to whatever size plastic you're willing to use with them. So I've got the 4-inch turtleback worm. I've got this one in camo. I've got one out on my drift rod here, and that is in pumpkin seed. So we're going to give both a go and see which one's going to work to get the bite today. So what we've got here is we've got weed patches with sand patches. Now I've got a pair of polarized sunnies, and they really help to actually be able to distinguish the bottom territory once the sun comes up a bit more. Right now it's probably a little bit too dark. It's not dark, but the sun's a bit too low in the sky to really be able to see it too well. Once that sun comes up a bit more, I'll definitely be getting them out and putting them on. That's going to help me find the dark patches and the sandy patches. And what you want to do, so I can see we've got a sandy patch coming up here now. You want to cast into the sandy patch, as that's where the whiting are typically going to be foraging, right on the edge of those weed beds where little bait and food morsels come out of the weeds and into the sand. That's where the whiting are going to be. It is probably not the best time of year, from what I know from the locals here at Clifton Springs. They reckon sort of March through to April is a pretty good time to be chasing King George whiting here. So it's not quite the right time of year. Right now it is late December, but I've got a good feeling we might find a couple of King George whiting today. So as we always say, we'll see what happens. Small squid here. So I've also been tasked with getting some bait for an upcoming snapper trip. So I reckon he's probably a bit small. We'll chuck him back. So we've also got the squid jig out as well. Hoping we can get a few nice squid there to take out for the snapper. Flatty again. Another little flatty, I think. Oh, we go whiting. There we go. That is our target species. There we go, folks. There's a beautiful King George whiting to start the day. There's a lovely fish, and he'd be legal size as well, so he's going to go straight in our esky for a feed. Now, one thing you'll notice about this type of fishing, if you start doing it, is you do tend to go through quite a lot of soft plastics. Now, you can use soft plastics that are more tough than the Berkeley Gulp turtleback worm. So you've got obviously some like the Z-Man sort of thing, and there are some other plasticine style soft plastics. The one thing I've noticed is they just don't seem to get as many bites as the turtlebacks do. So definitely recommend using turtlebacks for this kind of fishing. And if you do, make sure you bring quite a few packs. I've probably got about close to 4 packs with me today. Hopefully I don't go through them all, so I've got some for next time. But yeah, definitely want to bring quite a few packs of soft plastics. Otherwise, you may end up getting like onto the pinkies and they start shredding them. Quite often when you hook a nice fish, the jig assist hook will sort of tear up the plastic a little bit as well. So yeah, definitely make sure you got those packs with you. I think I've already got a bite. It's just hit the bottom. Yep, we're on already. Let's see what we got, see if it's another whiting. What have we got here? Are you kidding me? Whoa! Oh, I had both a whiting and a bloody flathead. They were fighting over it. They both came up, but the whiting got off, unfortunately. Shows how good they work. But yeah, we don't want to keep this guy. It's probably a bit on the small side anyway. If we get a couple of nice flatties, I'll probably hang on to them. But as I just mentioned, that's already been shredded and we've got to replace it. So can be a slightly expensive form of fishing, but hopefully you're going to make up for that with how many quality fish you catch. Now I've got my sounder with me today, but this is one of the forms of fishing where I don't really use it for the sounder aspect, where I actually use it more for the chart. So we're currently sitting pretty close to one of my other whiting marks where I've done quite well in the past. So we're more using it to try and stay in the same zone where we've caught whiting before. Obviously keep an eye on the depth here. I'm sitting now in about 3.7 meters of water, but yeah, like basically if you get onto a nice school of fish, make sure you mark the spot, especially if you're on the kayak and drifting. You can throw the anchor out, go ahead. Personally, I don't anchor on the kayak. I find it a bit of a safety issue, but if you're in the boat, obviously go ahead and throw the anchor out once you've found the fish. But it is quite a good idea to drift around it first, just to try and find those fish. Just hook that onto here. Feels like a slightly better squid, maybe. I don't have much drag on here. He's alright. It's a bait squid, I reckon. Hey, don't bite me. He's flexing his tentacles around to try and get a hold of me, but we're not going to let that happen. There we go. You don't need heavy gear at all. I'm using, this is like a 1 to 3 kilo rod for the 1,000 size reel. My other one here is a 1 to 4 with a 2,000 size reel. You know, 8 to 10 pound leaders, probably, you know, that's plenty. You could probably go as light as 6 if you wanted, but I don't find that the King George whiting are too finicky. If you're fishing for sand whiting somewhere up on like in New South Wales, you might need to go a bit lighter because they can get a little bit finicky, especially around Lake Macquarie. I've always found the whiting there to be sort of a little bit leader shy. But yeah, but basically light gear is all you need. You don't need anything too heavy to chase them. And yeah, hopefully you're going to find yourselves a couple of nice fish. We're getting bites again. There we go. What we got here? Fighting like a whiting. It's a whiting. Oh, it was a whiting. So I'd gone out a bit deeper to like 4 meters, like drifted into about 4 meters, and wasn't getting any whiting. I was getting mostly little flatties, so I thought to myself, I'll come back in a bit shallower because maybe they're in shallower, and that does appear to be the case. So We're going to try to keep around this sort of 3 to 3.5 metre area if we can. There we go, we're on. What have we got here? Hopefully a nice whiting. It's rattling around like one. Yep, there we go. There's another whiting there. It's a beautiful size, that one. A little bit slower at the moment. We had a nice hot bite early in the day. A couple of whiting, but it's definitely slowed down a little bit, but that is a beautiful fish to take home for a feed. There we go, we're on first cast on the next drift. What have we got here? Probably, ooh, I think that might be a ting. Yeah, it's a whiting. Beautiful. So we've just come back over a mark that I made a bit earlier, and nice whiting there. Definitely not complaining about that. Still a bit early, so obviously, like I was saying, it's right now it's late December, and usually around here sort of April to May is the best time for them, but that is definitely a nice little keeper, that. Lovely whiting. Lovely whiting there. There's been a lot of little flatties, but that is a ripper. Probably fish of the day so far. Oh, it's hitting the balls. And he got caught on the main hook, which is unusual, but that is a lovely King George whiting. So he's going to go in the esky. Yep, there we go. Is that a whiting? I think it might be actually. Yep, I think it is. I think that's a good whiting. Yep, great whiting. Oh, it's a cracker. That's fish of the day for sure. So that is a lovely whiting, that. It's going to make a very nice snack tonight. So I'm going to throw them in the esky. We'll keep fishing. As you can see, the turtlebacks are working a treat today. Plenty of nice whiting, and we're not even in season. So if you've always been using bait and you're going out sort of this time of year and you're not doing too well, definitely give these a go. because the whiting are here, they just may not be predating, or they may not be feeding like they usually would on bait. But if you can get the predatory instinct on a whiting to kick in, you'll just catch some lovely fish like that. Yep, there we go. Oh, that's not bad actually. There's another whiting there. He's alright. So today's a little bit tougher, so they're not schooled up and in a big sort of like a big group where you just keep coming back and catching them one after the other. They're a little bit more spread out today. So basically we do a drift, sort of might get a couple, go back, try to drift over that same area again. And if we don't get any more, basically we move around a little bit and just try some more sort of dark and light patches there. So it's a lovely fish and we'll get them in the esky. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. We're on. What we got here? Oh yeah, it's a nice whiting. Oh yeah, I'm chasing as well. That's a cracker of a whiting. Hell yeah. That's what we wanted. I'm just going to mark this spot here. That is a great whiting, that. It's exactly what we wanted. The ripper of a fish. So we're going to crack his neck and we'll get him in the esky. Looked like he had one coming up with him as well, which is a good sign that there might be a nice school of them here. I thought that they might have gone deeper with the sun coming up, but it looks like they might have come in shallower into the 3 metre line. So keep fishing, see if we can find a couple more. Would be nice. Well, that's it for this episode, guys. Not a bad day for the wrong time of the season. That's because we've been using these, the On The Edge lures jig assists with the Berkeley turtleback worm in the 4-inch. I'd say today it was probably the pumpkin seed was a better colour. But yeah, definitely guys, if you want to get out and chase some whiting on the boat or on the kayak, get yourselves some of the jig assists from Jason. Now he can make them in any sort of size hook, weight, jig head, sort of whether you want 4-inch or 7-inch turtlebacks. He can custom make it to whatever your request. So get in touch with him, order yourselves a pack, grab a whole bunch of your turtleback worms, come out to places like Clifton Springs where it's nice broken ground with like the weed and the sand patches. So get out to those spots, get out there, give them a go, and you should be able to catch yourself a nice feed of whiting. So if you enjoyed this episode, please flick us a like, chuck a comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one. Ah, oh, he kicked his way out of the esky, got his freedom. That's all right. We're just having some fun today.